Hey everyone, welcome back to a new episode of the King Chase. Today I have a really difficult example. It's a game Leitchuk against Voronova, played in 1983. It's white to move, and I remember a long time ago, I think maybe 10 years ago, I was given this position with a group of other people, and I think we spent about half an hour on this position just calculating as much as possible. And if you would like to, that would be a really good idea to practice your calculation skills, because there's a lot going on here, and you can take this example, it's a really good example, and really practice your calculation skills. That being said, it's white to move, so please stop the video if you want to get out the board, put it on position, or just try to solve it on the computer, and then we'll get into it. And along the way I will ask you for some more exercise, or I'll post some more exercise to you. Okay, crazy position to begin with, right? It seems a lot of white's pieces are hanging, but he finds a really good way, or she actually finds a really good way to cope with all these threats. She plays bishop h6, check. Okay, king needs to take. And now, what's the whole point of bishop h6? The queen is coming in on f7, quite nice. Now threatening to take on f8, obviously. So black played rook h8. If rook takes f7, then white would be up in exchange. Would be quite a difficult technical task to win this, actually, because black has a pawn for exchange and the white pawn structure is not that great. So might be a best try for black, but white is better here. If knight g7, then white plays knight g4 check and queen takes g7, and you can already tell this is not going to end well. Queen h6 threatening queen h3 checkmate, and black is in trouble. So rook h8 makes sense, defending also pawn on h7. Nevertheless, knight g4 check, king h5, and now knight e3. I quite like how the knight is coming from e5 to e3 and also keeping the tension on the d file. And here black made a mistake. He played rook takes d1. And I would like to discuss two moves here, e6 and e5. e6 can be dealt with pretty quickly. White just takes on d6 and plays rook f3. And rook h3 cannot be dealt with, and that's it. I was wondering for a second here what happens after knight takes d6. But to be honest, it doesn't make a difference, just rook f3 once again. And same thing, right? Because knight takes f7 doesn't change the mate on h3. Okay, so better try is e5. And here I have another exercise for you guys, and it's not easy. So once again, take as much time as you want to and try to find it here. So the solution is rook de1. Just get out of the d file, and white has enough power or forces here to get to the black king. So let's see a sample line. Queen d7. Of course, black would like to exchange queens. Why not? g4 check. And now black can play king h6 or king h4, obviously. Let's start with king h4. Knight g2 check and king takes g4. And what now? I mean, king is very exposed, but how do you really finish him off? After all, black has a good amount of material already. So once again, you can stop the video right here and try to figure this out. Of course, white doesn't exchange queens, so he brings the queen back to c4, threatening to play queen e2 check. Let's put this in green. King h5, and now just f takes e5, and king h6, e takes d6, knight c6, and white is up in exchange, but this time it's better for him because queens are still on the board, black king is still weak, and this is really bad for black. So what happens, I was just wondering, what happens if black takes back on e5? Well, that's simple to solve actually, because queen h5 is checkmate. So that's why black had to play king h6 here, and he couldn't take care of his rook on d6. Okay, now let's see what happens after king h6. And once again, I have an exercise for you. How does white play on from here? Once again, it's not simple, so take your time. Take your time. Okay, white plays knight f5 check. G takes f5, forced, g5 check. It's all forced, take, take, take. And now rook takes f5 check. Important tactic here. Queen takes f5 and h4 check. And black is losing the queen. He has collected some material, but the attack against the black king is still continuing. Rook g6, defending against queen g5 checkmate. Rook takes e5, rook g8, rook e6, takes, king g7, h5, and if the black piece were a little bit better coordinated, not all on the last rank, on the back rank, then black could have a chance here, but in this case, no. h6, queen g6 check, king f8, queen f5 check, king g7, and now white is collecting the knight on b8, and that's it. So quite a lot of variations here. I mean, this is the 19th move, and if you go from the first move, it is possible actually for some people to calculate that far. Well, actually, to be honest, you can stop here pretty much. You can say and evaluate this position, say, okay, I got the queen, the black king is still weak, so I should be in good shape here. But it is possible to calculate even further. Let's see what happened in the game. Black took on d1, rook takes d1, played knight d6. But now rook d5 check. Okay, e5 is forced. And one last exercise for you guys. White played one more precise move, and that was it. What did white play? Not that difficult, I think. Simply queen e6, threatening of course for one checkmate, and also threatening to take on d6, so it's a double attack. And let's say after king h6, or maybe better f5, but it really doesn't matter, because after rook takes d6, this is just absolutely horrible. The attack against black king will continue, and black is just completely lost. Alright, so that's it. Very rich example. I hope you could take away a lot from it. I hope you liked the variations, and if you have any questions, just put them in the comments below. I'll answer them, and then I'll see you next time. Bye.